Me and my girlfriend at the time, we had a son, and he passed away after just a couple hours. And the stresses of school and just the stresses of life, and I just thought that life would never get better. So I tried to take my life on multiple occasions, and thank God that he gave me another opportunity and realized that there's a reason that I was still there, and I do have a purpose in life. My name is Ryan. I'm 21 years old, and I'm from Jackson, New Jersey, and this is my testimony. So I did not grow up in a religious home or with a religious belief system. I kind of grew up pretty anti-religious, I would say. I kind of had some bad experiences with some Christians who claimed to be Christian, but I certainly didn't follow Christ. So that kind of gave me the wrong perspective of what a Christian was. So kind of growing up until probably junior year of high school, I was pretty anti-religious. So yeah, when I was very young, I was born in Baltimore, in the outer city, in a very, very small one-room apartment. And it was just me, my brother, my mom, and my dad. And my mom didn't really have a job, and my dad was working up to 16 hours a day and just doing whatever he can to provide for our family. And eventually, one day he did leave after times got really hard. And about a couple months later, my mom went to prison, which kind of left me and my brother just kind of alone, not knowing what's going on at a very young age, probably around age 6, if I had to estimate. Eventually, my grandparents found out that we were alone, and they stepped in, and they ended up taking my brother in, which at the time I was very upset that they kind of left me and took him, but definitely have no resentment towards them in that. But yeah, that was a big thing that kind of loomed over my head at that time, and was the thing I was really angry my parents and them for. But now I've come to see of just giving the forgiveness that Christ has given us to show towards them just a little bit. And that's just really been freeing to be able to do that. Yeah, it was really tough just kind of being alone at that age in the streets of Baltimore, and just kind of immediately went to addictions, drugs and alcohol, and just things of the world that temporarily gave me pleasure and fulfilled me, but definitely didn't give me the long-term just fulfillment that I was just longing for and searching for, and just kind of went around my whole life kind of moving place to place, just kind of looking for that fulfillment, and just kind of continuing to do drugs and alcohol and just all the things of the world that continued to fulfill me for just short periods of time, but could never truly make me feel joy for more than hours at a time. And I just kind of was a very greedy person, I would say. Definitely didn't care about anyone other than myself. Just kind of would really cut people off and hurt other people if it benefited me. And when I was about 7, maybe 8, maybe 9, around that time, I'd say probably 9 years old is a good guess. I decided to move to North Carolina, just kind of out of a whim. And I've always been kind of someone who just doesn't like to be really told what to do and likes to just go against kind of what people tell me to do. I've kind of been pretty rebellious, so I decided to go to North Carolina and moved to a small town called Fairmont, North Carolina, just kind of walking around seeing what was going on. And I was fortunate enough to get a job there, which kept me there for about the summer, a couple months there. And during the beginning, I was able to meet a fellow coworker who ended up becoming my best friend, who we just really connected. And he asked his dad if I could move in, and his dad was like, absolutely, which was amazing, really the first time in a while that I truly had a home and a roof over my head. And at that same job, I met this girl who was just way out of my league, and such a good person and such a caring person, and had such a big heart. And I just fell in love right there and then. And I was like, man, I need to get to know this person, and I really love this person. And like, there's no way she'll love me back, but I'll ask her out on a date, and I did. And I decided to take her out peach picking, and we just had a really good time and laughed a lot and just really got to know each other well on that date. And yeah, we kind of looked up at the stars, and yeah, had a really good time there. And I asked her out the day after that at work, and she said yes, which was amazing. And she really kept me going. I don't know what I would have done without her. And yeah, we got through it together. I don't know where I'd be without her, because she was the only person that I could truly rely on other than my best friend. And she ended up falling out with her parents, and they got in an argument, and things got tough for her with her relationship with her parents. So we decided to move, and yeah, we moved away together. And we didn't care about the situation around us, but it was really, as long as I had her, that's all that kept me going. And yeah, without her, I truly wouldn't be who I am. As she really taught me how to be a loving person, and she really kept me going, because I'd have really no one to go to and no one to talk to if she wasn't there. And we were homeless for a long time. We just kind of moved around, and it was really tough, especially during the winters, of just trying to stay warm and sleeping in bus stops and just kind of cuddling up and trying to survive. But we did it, and I just have to thank her for that, because I know I wouldn't have been able to get through it without her. It was sophomore year of high school. Me and my girlfriend were going strong, and at the time I was living with my mom, and the government kind of forced me to move in with her for at least 2 years, until I was old enough to take care of myself. And we lived in Jackson in a small apartment, and my girlfriend ended up moving in a nearby apartment, and we both worked 3 or 4 jobs each, just to get by, and we both split the rent. And we were doing pretty well at the time. We were just happy to be together, and getting through school. And yeah, we were very surprised one day when I got home from school, and she was holding a pregnancy test, and it said positive. And up to that point, like about a couple of days in advance, she was talking about she's having stomach pains, and she was like, "I think I'm pregnant." I was like, I'm not too sure about that. I don't think so. I hope not. But I've always wanted kids, and that's one of those things that I just thought I wasn't a good enough person yet. I knew I wasn't ready yet. But when I heard the news, it was a lot of mix of enjoyment of like, oh, I'm finally going to be a dad, but like knowing that I'm not probably going to be a good dad, and I'm not good enough to be a dad. So it was a lot of mixed emotions with that. And just kind of, we're really, really nervous but excited about it. And we were gonna do whatever we could to give this child the best childhood he could have had, and just more than we had is what we really wanted. But yeah, kind of went through the next 9 months of just anticipation and waiting for this our child to be born. And yeah, when the day finally came, when we finally had the kid, it was amazing. It was really just a happy moment, but it kind of turned sour quickly, and the doctor said that he wasn't breathing, and that he probably won't make it, and there's just a slight chance. But they asked, do you want to try? And we said, of course, absolutely. We'll do anything just to, try to get him through it and make sure he doesn't pass away. But they put him on a ventilator for about 3 hours, and it just wasn't really working. And slowly, his heart just started beating slower and slower. And he unfortunately passed away after a couple hours, and that really hit us hard because we were pretty excited. We knew that we weren't really ready. I know she would have made the best mom ever, but I knew I would not have been a good father, but we were really excited, and that really hit us hard. But yeah, that's something that really I look back on, and really just a pivotal moment, because it forced us to go to rehab for the first time, which was something we really needed to do. And we met some people there that were really nice and really gave us hope. But yeah, definitely it's a tough thing to go through, especially at that time. Just a lot of these things kind of piled up, and the stresses of school, and just the stresses of life, and just not being enough. I didn't see a future for myself. I didn't have any hope, and I just thought that life would never get better. So I tried to take my life on multiple occasions, and thank God that He gave me another opportunity. And just after the second time, I realized that there's a reason that I was still there, and I do have a purpose in life, and kind of decided to become a Christian after seeing that my father had become a recent Christian at that time. This was probably, I'd say, junior year of high school, and just, yeah, really, I liked what they promised of this joy and this fulfillment, and that there's this loving God, and that Jesus truly did sacrifice Himself for us. And I kind of clung on to that hope and that promise, and it got me through the rest of high school. Kind of decided to go into the military, applied for the Coast Guard, but I failed a drug test and I failed a physical because I was still doing all these drugs, and my knee wasn't fully healed, so that wasn't an option, and that was off the table. And at the time, my girlfriend was going to college, and she had highly recommended it, so I said, my GPA was, I think like a 2.4 maybe, and that was the highest it was ever. So that was me doing my best. And yeah, school was about to end. She was going into her junior year that upcoming year, so she loved college at that point. She kind of just got home from the summer. I was excited. I just got back from my freshman year of college, and was excited, and was like, I got through it. Fully didn't expect to really last a year in college, but I did, and I was excited to get home and just see her, and hadn't seen her in a long time, so that was exciting. And kind of when she walked in, she didn't look very happy, and I was kind of confused. And I was like, I knew something was wrong right away, and I was like, because we talked every day, and I just knew there was something she wasn't telling me. She didn't want to tell me at first, and I kind of begged and was like, I know something's wrong, just tell me. You're not going to hurt me, it's okay. And then she just told me that she had leukemia, and that she has been going through a lot of therapy and a lot of chemo, and that, yeah, she's been just getting worse and worse and worse, and that she didn't want to put me through that, and she didn't want me to see her like that. But yeah, it was really tough to hear that news, really heartbreaking. And just at the time, I kind of was too confident that like we'd get through it, and I just had this faith that we'd get through it. I don't know, just something told me that she would get through it, and everything would go back to normal, and she'd be fine. So I kind of really didn't worry about it, kind of treated it as if everything was going to be okay. And yeah, kind of went as the summer went on. We went to treatment together, and just kind of, yeah, that really hurt me that whole summer. I think of like, I kind of drank and did drugs and did everything to take my mind off the fact that there's a chance that I could live without her, and did everything I could to, whenever that came to mind, to just erase that off my mind, and do drugs and drink and get drunk and do whatever I could to make me not think about that. And I realized kind of as the summer went on that it was getting worse, and things were definitely looked like they were reaching towards the end. And I kind of, for the first time, I want to say about a week before she passed away, I kind of for the first time thought like, this is probably going to happen. Like I'm probably gonna be left alone without her, and like really decided for that next week to just kind of go all out and do whatever we wanted to do. And I took her to some places that she'd always wanted to go, and we kind of spent a lot of money because I kind of knew that it was coming towards the end, and just kind of wanted to give her the best life she could have towards the end. And yeah, kind of she had a heart attack kind of when we were out having dinner one day, and we took her to the hospital. And she kind of woke up, but she wasn't really fully conscious at that time. And I just kind of knew that was it. And like, yeah, we listened to her favorite song and just held hands as I just watched the life go out in her eyes. And yeah, that was really tough. And yeah, just kind of broke me that summer. And I went right back to the way I was before college. And every progress that I've made in college that freshman year kind of went away. And I just went to drugs and parties and alcohol, and everything that I was kind of working on kind of just went away. And yeah, she was really the only thing that I had that like truly got the best out of me. And I think she was such a kind person that wore off on me. But as soon as that went away, I kind of lost all of that and really just wasted that entire summer, just kind of not even thinking about God at all, and just ready to go back and do the same thing in college that I did at the beginning of partying, going to frat parties and doing drugs and all these things that I had done freshman year. But so there was a NAV leader who had reached out. We kind of just met. He invited me over his house. He basically had been texting me basically every week saying, "You want to get lunch?" and just kind of really caring about me and checking in on me. And I completely ignored him. And then towards the end of the summer, I finally just gave in and felt a lot of suicidal thoughts and just felt like I had no hope again. So decided instead of just ending it, I would reach back out and kind of see what he wanted. Maybe we can have this relationship. Maybe he can just help me get better. He picked me up and everything, got me lunch. We just had a talk, and I told him everything. And he was just really, it seemed like he really cared. Like he said, "I'm sorry." He said, "I'm here for you. Like if you need anything, if you need to stay here, I got you. Like anything you need, I'm here for you. And more importantly, God's here for you." And I was like, man, that's exactly what I needed to hear, of like, God truly is there for me and God does love me. And you know, I never truly believed that or even thought about that to that point. I always thought of God as like this overbearing kind of, he just oversees everything, but he doesn't really love us, he just controls us. But to hear that God wants to have a relationship with me and that God truly does love me, was something I've never heard, and something that just changed my perspective completely just on Christianity, and just kind of wanted that for myself and wanted to pursue that. And even if it wasn't true, it was worth a shot, and it was the only hope that I had. And just the fact that he cared for me, and like you could just tell that the Holy Spirit was in him, and there was something different about him. You could just tell that he truly had the love of the Father in him, and was showing that towards me, which I've never felt before. And just to feel that for the first time really just changed my perspective in Christianity. And I kind of decided that I'm going to pursue God and I'm going to become a follower of Christ in that moment. And I said that I'm going to give it my all. And I read the Bible for the first time by myself, which was great. Fell in love with having quiet times and just learning about who God is and what he did. And it was just an amazing time period, and just truly for the first time fell in love with just God and truly built this relationship with him. And yeah, really got me through such a tough moment. What the love of Christ just means for me right now is honestly everything. And just the love that he's shown me and the second chances he's given me. And I wasn't deserving of any second chances, and he's given me so many time and time again, just in my life, and just knowing that I got to take advantage of that. And I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be alive. I should be in hell. And because of his grace that he's offered me, and he offers to all people, I am still here, and I'm able to help people see that, and I'm able to really feel fulfilled, and just share that love with others. And the Holy Spirit dwells in me, and I can show that to others. But without his love, and without God being such a loving God, and without his perfect love, I certainly wouldn't be where I am now, and I wouldn't be a part of the Navigators. That's really what hooked me in, was his love. And that's what made me want to have a relationship with God, was how loving he is, and just his grace that he offers to all people, and not having to work towards that to achieve that, but just accepting it for myself, this free gift of grace. And that really hooked me, and without knowing that, I truly wouldn't have this fulfillment and this true joy, and I'd be just a completely different and worse person. One area of life that God is growing me in right now, I think a big thing is just the compassion that I should show towards others. Just trying to put myself in other people's shoes, and not kind of judging them at first glance, and these initial thoughts that I have about people, kind of getting rid of those and praying about that, and allowing God to take these things away, and just allowing me to look at everyone as just brothers and sisters, and truly showing compassion towards everybody, whether they have different viewpoints than me, or whether they're doing something that I disagree with, and not acting out in hate, but acting out in love towards them, and just treating them in that way, is something that God has really been helping me with. And it's not through my own strength, but through him that I've been able to grow in that, and just work and get better and better. And I still have a long way to go, but just trusting him to grow me in that way. If someone were to walk up to me and ask me why should I follow Jesus, I would tell them that because there's nothing in this world that could truly fulfill them like he can. He died for our sins, and he offers this gift of grace that's free, that no matter what we've done in the past, no matter what our background is, no matter who we are able to be reborn and be a part of his family, because of that grace, because of what Jesus Christ did on the cross. And that if they don't follow Christ, that their whole life they're going to be searching for this true fulfillment just in life, and they're never truly going to find that. They're going to find just fulfillment in short bursts, and not just this long-term fulfillment for eternity. And just the love that he shows towards his people and towards everybody is something that everyone should have for themselves, and they should want to feel loved, and just want to be fulfilled by such a loving God and such a perfect God, who has a plan for our lives, a better plan than we could ever come up with, which is hard to remember sometimes. But just we're trusting in that plan, and remembering that his plan is better than our plan, and his plan is perfect, and trusting him in that is something that is just fulfilling more than anything we could ever substitute it with. There's just nothing that can substitute for that grace and that love.